Okay, this episode is actually specifically about health information management module. So, in the DHS, we do have the health information management module, as you can see in the menu. And keep in mind that any module you need to have access in order to you need to have a privilege for you to be able to access it or to see it. And the privilege will be given by the administrator or by your DHS administrator. So I log in with the administrative login credentials, which means I have access to almost everything. So right now I will just go straight to the health information management module to see what it contains, and we are going to take the picture one after the other to see how the kind of content it has. So let's check on it and see. And for your information also, when you click in any module, you may have some drop down list like this. In case of maybe your hospital has the brain unit under health information module, you will see the brain unit. In some conventional hospitals, you may see like there are registration and documentation units separate from maybe follow-up, statistics, coding and indexing. You may see some unit, you may have some unit like that, but for this very demo version of the DHS, I only just put one unit, expected to have all the features that's supposed to be in the health information management. So let me just quickly click on the Prondex, since it's the only unit we have. So I just click on the Prondex. So basically any unit you have clicked for health information management modules, the features almost look the same, except your privilege would determine what you will be able to access or you will be able to do in the dashboard. So as you can see, we have about 4 essential menu in the health information management dashboard. We do have the profile, appointment, ICD coding, and correspondences. So I will start with the profile. The profile actually will allow you to profile patients. Profiling patient, it means registering patients in a category that is supposed to be, updating existing patients, or converting the patient profile from one category to another. And also you will be able to generate like patient e-card, things like that in the profile menu. So I'm going to start with the first item in the list. So I'm going to click on the profile menu, and as you can see, we do have the first item is a new or update patient. So you are going to use this item in case of you want to register a new patient or you want to update an existing patient. So if you want to register a new patient, all you need to do, just go ahead and click on the new or update patients. So you may have an interface like this. We have registration type, as you can see, the category, and the hospital ID. So let me start from this from the first item here, the registration type. So by default, actually the system will expect that you want to register a new patient. If you want to update an existing patient, so you need to change this from new to update. Then the system will ask you to input the patient ID for you to be able to search the patients that you want to update and do the necessary update you want to do. But since it's the registrations that I want to do, all I need to do is to keep it as new. And then the next thing is the category. So as you can see, we have the regular account, HMO principal account, and the HMO dependent account, and lastly we do have the private account. So let me make clarifications here. DHS actually recognize 3 categories of patients and maybe probably some subcategory under some main categories. I will repeat. I said DHS recognize or categorize patient into three main categories, though we may have some other category that fall under some of the main category that I have mentioned, the three. Okay, what are the three categories? We do have the regular patient or general patient. That is, I'm talking about an independent patient, a patient that not belong to any healthcare or insurance scheme. And then we do have the HMO patients or insurance patients. As you can see, the two items, the second and the third item here, actually they are insurance patients or HMO patients. Keep in mind that under insurance we may have principal and dependent, and also we may have like a private insurance and the conventional insurance. So all of those insurance category actually fall under the insurance category, or in this case, as you can see, either HMO or principal account. And then lastly, the private account. Actually, the private account, all these family accounts and retainership account, DHS normally categorize them under private account. So if you want to register a patient, make sure that you know which category you are going to place the patient, because putting the patient in the wrong category will create a problem while maybe billing the patients or addressing or attending the patient in some points. For instance, let's say I'm supposed to register a patient under a category of insurance that maybe requires some certain percentage per patient to be paid on a particular bill. But if I register that very patient on regular account, then definitely the system will going to bill the patient rather than using the insurance formula, but it will going to use the regular formula. That is as if the patient is not belong to the insurance patients. So you need to carefully register the patients into the appropriate category for the system to recognize and to make necessary provisions of what the patient that's supposed to benefit based on the category he is or she is. So after that, let's assume that I click on the regular account. So the next thing I supposed to do is to specify the hospital number. But for your information, as we can see here in the bracket, it shows or leave to auto generate. So which means you have two options. You can either put the hospital number. If the hospital number is not exist, then the system will allow you to register the patient, or maybe you don't have the hospital number available, or your hospital agree that let the system be generating the number. So in that case, you can leave it blank and you can just go ahead and do the registrations. Immediately after the registrations, system will generate the hospital number for your patient. That's these sections. So before I talk about this photograph, I will go to the maybe how to maybe register some informations about any particular patients. As you can see, we have categorized the patient informations into three sections. We have the patient personal information, that is this. We have the next of kin or contact information. We have retainership or private information, and the HMO information. So like the first two, no matter what category you select, ideally the system will allow you to fill the first two sections, while the third sections actually is only when you are registering a private account. Then the system will require an information for you to be able to, for you to fill. And also, if you are dealing with the second category and the third category, that is purely insurance patient, then the system will allow you to fill HMO information. So for instance, I want to fill patient personal information. I will just click on the patient personal information, and as you can see, it's just like any conventional patient registrations form. So I think I may not need to maybe bother myself imputing information for the sake of time. So all you need to do, all the fields with the red asterisk actually indicating that those fields actually are compulsory. Otherwise, when you click on save, the system will not accept. And maybe probably you may see something here, registrations type. As you can see, by default is a new patient. So when you are registering a new patient, the system will automatically use the provisional charges for the registration to bill the patient. But maybe probably that very patient exists, or maybe probably this is the first time you are using the EMR in your hospital, and maybe you have some patients that were already registered. So in that case, if you consider using the new file here, then definitely the system will going to charge the patient again for the registrations, while patient has paid for the registration sometimes ago. So all you need to do is to change this new file to old file. But keep in mind that this access is for only authorized person, which means not every record officers will be able to access this feature. So as you can see, even me myself, as you can see, the place is not clickable because I intentionally disable that very feature for myself, just for you to understand that the feature will be able, anytime the administrator can disable it or enable it for certain users. And then the next thing is which service. In some hospital they have different registration charges, so the system may probably don't have available indicator to understand or to categorize this is the charges that need to apply for this patient. So in that case, if you don't have different registrations charges for the patient, so you need to select the specific service that you want to charge the patient and click on save. Then from that very point of view, the system will allow you to access the patient in every corner. And also, if the patient next of kin information or contact information are available, you can go ahead and fill it as I click here. So if they are not available, you can leave it till once you have the information, then you can update it later, or any other user that has this privilege can be able to register it anytime. And also, maybe if you are dealing with retainership patient, that is, I'm talking about family and any retainership profile, I'm talking about this category, private category. As I click here under the based on the regular account selections, it will not allow me to open it. But when I select the private account and I click on the retainership information, as you can see, it shows me. So as you can see, all the registered family or retainership, you will be able to see them for you to be able to map the user, to map the patients into a particular with a particular account. That's for the private account. And in case of the HMO, as I click on the HMO right now, it's not accessible because of maybe as you can see, I select the private account. Even regular I selected, it will not be functioning. But let me just like select a HMO principal account, a purely insurance account. So when I click on insurance account, ideally the system is expected to allow me to access this HMO information. So as you can see, I click there, and you can see I can select the HMO for this patient, and also I can specify the HMO number, the tag number the system will be generated, and then if each individual client in that very profile, for instance, the principal has his own code, and maybe the dependent 1, dependent 2, up to the last dependent have their different client ID, then you can specify the ID. And then we have this, though we have a feature that override that which functionalities I think cater for what we have provided here earlier. What I'm trying to say, actually, if you are registering a private HMO patient, you need to select either yes or no. But we make some update, actually, maybe probably in the subsequent versions of this very application, you will not be able to see this one, because actually we have already taken care of this aspect somewhere. So in case of you are using the new version of this very app, and it happened you didn't see this very fields, so there are no problem. Actually, we have already taken care of it somewhere. So that's basically about the registering new patients. And then if you do have questions, you can contact us. We do have our email address attached, and or maybe you can leave your comment here. That's about the registration. So after the registration, what next? Actually, by default, normally if you do have patients that come to the hospital, maybe in your front attending to him, trying to register him, definitely maybe what you will expect immediately after the registration is that the patients may probably want to see doctor. So all you need to do is to go to the next menu and book the patients in order to see the doctor. But before then, please let's finish with the profile menu. So after the profile, after the new or update, as I said earlier, if you want to update, is the same new or update item you are going to select it in the profile action menu. But in that case, if you want to update, all you need to do, you need to click on update, and then it will create this very search number field for you. Then you can specify the patient hospital number, and it will populate all the available information in the patient profile. Then you will be able to continue by providing the update information to that very profile. And after that, the next item I think is profile conversion. The reason why we provide profile conversion, at times you may register a patient in a wrong category. Maybe I want to register an insurance patient, but I mistakenly register the patient under regular account. So in order for me to get him registered appropriately, all I need to do is to use his profile number or hospital ID and convert that very registrations from regular to profile, to insurance patients. For instance, in order to do that, all I need to do is to click on the profile conversion under the profile action menu, and I have to select the category, or the conversion type, the conversion that I want to do. Am I going to convert a regular account to HMO principal or to HMO dependent, or I want to convert a regular account to private, or from HMO principal to regular, or from HMO dependent to regular, and or maybe from private to regular. I think with these three, with this list of options or conversion type, you will be able to switch from any of the three and other subcategory of patient profile. Or maybe in case if you don't know the patient which profile he is or she is, all you need to do is click on reset. So when you click on reset, all you need to do is to type the patient hospital number. If the patient is available in the system, it will show you the name. As you can see, this is the name of this very patient. And as I leave on the conversion, as I select reset on the conversion type and I click on convert, actually the system will automatically convert the patient to the regular account. So clicking reset is like converting the patient to a regular account. So since I done that, what of maybe I want to convert the patient to the NHIS principal account? Okay, let me retry putting the patient hospital number. As you can see, okay, it says incorrect parameter because I have to select the conversion type first before I go to the imputing the patient ID. So let me just say regular account HMO principal. Then I will select the patient hospital number like this. So as you can see, it gives me all the necessary parameter for me to be able to convert the patients to the HMO account. So as you can see in the HMO field, I can select the HMO that I want to register the patient. I select Arewa Health Maintenance Services 0%, which means this patient is purely private, that is not supposed to pay a penny for each service that this HMO covered. So the next thing is to specify the maybe NHIS number or insurance number. Let's say 181234 like this. And then if the client number, as I said earlier in the registration profile, is available, then you can specify the client number, and then the system will automatically create the tag. As you can see, the 27 actually is the HMO code for the Arewa Health Maintenance, and then the number in between the slash, the two slash actually is the insurance number of this verification, and the last tag as you can see later, fee, indicating that this account or this verification is a principal is the principal's member of this profile. So if I am okay with my entry, all I need to do is to click on convert, and I will get this acknowledgement conversion is successfully. So from now on henceforth, the system will regard this verification as NHIS or a HMO principal account holder, and it will treat the patient accordingly. So that's for the profile conversion. And then next is company or family or private account. So the company or private profile, actually it has to do with the private patient. As I said, private patients is dealing with retainership or family account. So before you register any member as a beneficiary of any retainership or family account, you need to register that very profile of that company or the profile of that family into the system for you to be able to get any member register. So in order to register any company or family, all you need to do here is under this profile name, you need to specify the name or the title of the family or the title of the company. For instance, like I may say Skybank, and then automatically this I will have this code. The code will be unique actually. So when you click on add, the system will add this profile or this family family account or private account. As you can see, I put Skybank, definitely it's a private account. So, and this is the private code. So anytime I'm registering a patient, a dependent patient that's supposed to be beneficiary of this profile, so all I need to do is to go to new patient registration and select on the private account. So after selecting private account, it will ask me insurance number. Don't worry, even if the account is not that insurance, just put that very code that I just copied after registering the Skybank. So once I do that, the system will allow me, will automatically generate hospital number based on this profile code. As you can see, the profile code and the hospital number is the same except the last digit, which is 1. So if we have additional member, it will say 2, 3, 4 up to the last number. So when you search, anytime you search the database with this 4819092, it will filter all the patient that's supposed to be beneficiary of this profile account. And if I click on this retainership or private information, as you can remember, as you can see, the choose company field shows Skybank, and the code is the same. The family, is the profile code of this account, and /1 indicating the first dependent. And if you are okay, you can click on save and fill the remaining information. Remember, patient informations and the next of kin are very, very important. Patient information section is compulsory. Without filling it, actually the system will not go into save the patient profile in the system. So that's all about patient registration. So maybe in the subsequent video I will create an episode independently for the print DHS card. Actually, there are a lot of information there. There are a lot of things we need to do and to understand for us to be able to maybe start producing the card or knowing how to generate the card. So I will skip this step, please. And after the registration, the next thing is appointment. So when you click on the appointment actions menu, you may have 2 items like this, new or queue. If you want to create a booking for a patient, all you need to do is to come to the new the appointment action menu and click on new. It will take you to this page, and after that you can write down the hospital number of the patient. Like for instance, this patient 1300 this, or if you don't know the patient hospital number, you can start writing the name. So you will see the most relevant result would pop up like this. So I will select this one and press enter, so it will populate the information of the patient. As you can see, the name of the patients, and if the photograph the photograph of this patient is available, it will also be shown. Or if you want to take new picture, you can click on the new photograph, and the system will try its best to connect us with the camera, as you may see like this. So if I want to snap, I can click on snap and it will show me the preview. If I'm okay, I will submit it just like this. I can submit, or if I'm not okay, I will maybe retake again. But in my own case, I will not upload it to the server. So that is it. So the next thing after searching the patients that you want to book, the next thing is these fields. Do you want to make an instant booking? That is to say, the patient want to see a doctor today, or you want to maybe book the patients again, order it rather than today's date. So all you need to do, in case if it is today, you can ignore this field. But if it is some days that is not yet due, all you need to do is to click on this switch button. It will allow you to select to have this date field and select the appropriate date you want the patients to come and see the doctor. That's for this one. And then for the second one, that is follow-up visit or initial visit, actually the system will automatically sense if this patient has seen patients sometime previously. The system will automatically switch to back to follow-up, but as you can see, it switched to initial visit, indicating that the patient never seen a doctor using this very application. So the system will regard this patient as an initial visit, which means the first time the patient is visiting the hospital. And after that, if you are using time appointment, you are considering time when appointing the patient or booking the patients, you need to specify the time here. But if you are not doing it, you can just skip it. Then the next thing is priority. Sometimes some patients actually require urgent attention while waiting for the doctor. If you see the condition of the patient is that critical that require urgent attention, so all you need to do is to click on emergency. The doctor will be able to see it as an emergency patient and give necessary attention that the patient is supposed to have. And then lastly, or secondly, the last thing here is to select the clinic the patients want to see the doctor. Maybe the patient want to see the doctor in GOPD1, and select the clinic and click on book appointment. So this you have done with the patient's booking. And if you want to view picture or previous booking, all you need to do is to click on the queue. It will allow you to access all the previous booking done or the future booking. You will also see them accordingly by using this number of parameters. Number one, maybe you want to select the clinic. For instance, if I select GOPD1 and I maybe probably put today's date and click on this filter, so you can see I have only one patient, the patient that I just booked. Or maybe I want to see some future booking. I can select any date that I want to trace and the clinic and any parameter. Am I interested on the first visit or follow-up visit? Or maybe some patient may come to the hospital and be booked by the staff. So I want to filter only the patient that come to the hospital and get booked by our staff. I can select workspace. Or maybe some patients use their mobile app to access the app and do the booking, because we do have a DHS mobile which we are targeting the patient. It's just for patient consumption. Patient will be able to make booking and other things like that. We have a video that cover that. Maybe I will recommend for you to search for that very video and have a time to go through the content of that very video. So in that video, actually the patients can be able to download the app and do booking, make payments, video calls, things like that with the hospital staff. So if patient use the application and book the appointment, then you are interested maybe just to filter those category of booking, then you can use the DHS mobile. Or maybe you are interested in the number of referrals or patients that were booked based on the referral, ground, then you can use the referral and filter them. Or maybe probably you want to filter them by status, maybe all pending, that is the patient that were billed for the booking but they are not yet paid, or the patient that are already been consulted, or the patient that have been this all awaiting and the all pending. Actually they are almost the same, though there are some differences. And then we have the awaiting vital, or maybe probably the patient that have come to the hospital and have been booked, paid, but actually is awaiting prognosis to register some vitals information. Then you can use this. As you can see, the next thing, awaiting consultations. Maybe the nurse has already taken the vitals, is waiting for the doctor to get consulted, or maybe the doctor has already consulted the patients but the doctor did not finalize the consultations, because maybe probably the doctor is waiting for some medical investigations to be done, then for him or for her to be able to finalize the consultation. Then in that case the system will show awaiting investigations by status. So if you want to filter those category of patients or those category of booking, then you can use the awaiting investigations. And as you can see in the booking table, ideally this table is supposed to be the list of patients that are waiting, or maybe probably in the waiting area. So we have a serial number, hospital ID, full name, gender, age, that is the HMO if the patient is belong to insurance patient, or if the patient is belong to private patient. Also you will see the family title or the retainership title of his or her profile, and also the status. I just explained the status, and of course the time the patient that were booked. And for your information, actually the system is arranging this the patient's list based on first come first serve approach, and is using the time to rank or to sort the patient in the list, and also the room. During the vital taking, the nurses assign the patients to a particular doctor or consultant room. You will see the name of the doctor or the room under the room column. And also we do have visits. I have already explained that. And also we have action. Under actions we have a number of actions buttons, and those action buttons may vary at time, maybe less than these 3, maybe more than these 3. So actually it depends with the locations you are working with, or maybe the kind of access privilege you have or given to you by your administrator. But what we have now on ground is we have the delete and the SMS action and the email action. So the delete, actually if you want to remove these consultations or this appointment entirely from the list, when you click on delete it will remove. Or maybe you want to send an SMS to the patient. Maybe probably the appointment is a future appointment that is maybe supposed to be due tomorrow, and you want to remind the patient by SMS or by email. You can click on the corresponding action button, and the informations will deliver to the patients based on the media you choose. And keep in mind, this is purely subscription service. If you have not subscribed to, or your hospital did not subscribe to that very service, you may not be able to enjoy it. So that is it for the queue. Then the next thing actually is coding and indexing. So the coding and indexing, actually we know that we do have a international disease or conventional international disease classifications, and in order to do that very classification, actually there are a conventional standard, and that very conventional standard is a document, or I can call it a book, designed and designed by the WHO. So ideally each and every diagnosis need to be classified according to that very provision. So in order to do that, actually we know that in some hospitals there are some units dedicated for that very purpose, but in our own case, actually the system will try its best to automatically do the what can I call decoding which means when doctors confirm that this is the diagnosis or this is the confirmed diagnosis of this so patient, then the system will automatically look into the provisions, into the ICD provisions, and provide the appropriate code for that disease. But if in case the system did not do that, maybe due to the information given by the doctor is not that sufficient, or the doctor ignored to use the ICD provisions, use his own specifications. So in that case, you need to maybe manually update that very diagnosis so that it will tally with the provisions of the ICD, International Code of Disease. So in order to do that, all you need to do is, like for instance, we have this patient Ahmed Adamu, and the diagnosis is malaria, and then the ICD provision is 0, indicating that it was not coded yet. So as you can see, this is what the doctor put: annual check. So all I need to do in order to maybe use the provision of the ICD, I can maybe the name diagnosis malaria is not supposed to be malaria, maybe it's something else. As I start typing, the system will try its best to filter. Unfortunately, I did not put the ICD list here in this system, so that's why we didn't see the list for so. But if it is there, automatically as I start typing, the system will provide me the content of the list based on the information, the most relevant content from the list for me to be able to select. And upon select, the system will automatically put the code of that very selections, and you can click upon update, then the system will update that very diagnosis. And as you can see, we have all. If I want to filter, or I want to filter only coded one, I can click on filter, and there are no anyone that was coded yet. And if I want to filter on coded one, I believe each and every item we see before the diagnosis we see before, actually they are uncoded. Or I can select the all to filter everything, that is including the coded one and the uncoded one. So the system is kind of actually is so slow, sorry about that. And then after that, I think I can proceed to the correspondence. And what we have in the correspondence, sorry, the system is misbehaving actually, but let me just give an explanation about correspondence before it come off. Actually, in a hospital, sometimes patient may require to have a medical report. Maybe probably his place of work are in need of such document, or he required to have some certain treatment in his place of work, and his place of work told him that he should get a medical report for him to be able to justify his request. So in that case, he need to file a written request to the hospital, so that the hospital will be able to make a medical report for him. Or sometime maybe a patient may be diseased, and his family, due to some legal reason, may require to have a death certificate. So in such case, they need to file a legal written request for that very certificate. I think there are so many things like that. Or maybe someone in need of a particular hospital services, and he may not be able, maybe probably, to incur the charges. Maybe he seek assistance, maybe from government, or philanthropy, or humanitarian service providers, and they promise to provide such assistance, but they may probably request official medical bill of his treatment. So in that case, he may also need to file a written request for that very service, and then the hospital will be able to entertain him accordingly. So actually, we intend to capture everything that the hospital is doing physically, and we try to automate such things so that everything will be run in an electronic platform. So that's why we make provisions of correspondences. These correspondences actually will allow such requests or such category of correspondence be able to, the hospital will be able to generate it electronically. For instance, I can raise any correspondence using these 4 fields. For instance, here I can select the type of correspondence I want to raise. Let's say I want to raise a medical report request. I can put the medical report request under the type, and then the next thing is to select the hospital number of the patient. If available, it will show the name. Then the next thing, who is responsible, I mean the staff that is responsible. I can type the name of the staff that is responsible. I can select anyone here, and maybe if I have a message to attach to this request, I can write the message and click on submit. So as you can see, the correspondence is being submitted successfully, and if this correspondence has some charges attached to it, then automatically the system will generate a bill for this correspondence. And when I scroll down, as you can see, when I scroll down, I is supposed to get that very correspondence that I just sent for these patients. Because of the, I think there are so many pending correspondence. Let me maybe type the patient registration number. I think it's 1300. Let me filter it. As you can see, this is the request, the hospital number, the patient name, the staff responsible, the correspondent type, which is medical report, and the status is pending. So if the correspondence is printable and is ready, when I click on print, it will show it, but as you can see, the system said not attended because I just raised it and no one responds to this correspondence. But there is this one, I can see Muhammad Manir patient profile. So this one is patient profile. Actually is being sent to a particular doctor for him to be able to maybe assess the patient profile or the patient history. I didn't see any other correspondence that were attended, like medical report maybe. So there are no such. Actually all of the correspondence that were attended, I think, is patient profile. So what I'm trying to say, actually, if any printable request, once it is ready, when you click on this print dialog box, it will show the detailed request and you can be able to print it in the hospital letterhead. So basically this is why I'm going to stop for the health information module. Thank you for your time. Remember, if you do have any question, you can send to our email info.ipsonka@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment here, or any other means, or using our contact, you can WhatsApp, or using our provisional WhatsApp line. Thank you.